Indian homes are super clean. Indian streets are the opposite. And if you think I'm generalizing, tell me the last time you saw a dirty kitchen in an Indian home. No Indian mom will allow that. So, is civic sense an India problem or an Indian problem? Most people will give you the same boring excuses. Poverty, education, the system. The Indian government doesn't provide dustbins. Hence, Indians litter. If you give them dustbins, enforce fines, install cameras, people will magically stop littering. I live in Singapore. And you must have seen other YouTubers praise the Singapore system. Take a look. It is literally spotless. And this is not even the best part of Singapore. It's just a residential town, not a tourist area. Just a place where regular people live. So if we just replicate this same system in India, problem solved, right? And I want to show you another neighborhood in Singapore, a place called Little India. You want to see how it looks like? Not what you would expect a place in Singapore to look like, isn't it? It really lives up to its name, Little India. And I want to remind you, the same Singapore rules apply here as well. Same fines, same enforcement, same system. So are we going to blame Modi for this? So, if it's not the systems, maybe it's money. Poor people have very different relationship with cleanliness because they live around filth. And most people in India are poor, so the country is naturally dirty. But then, why do South Asian dominated neighborhoods in South Hall look the way they do? These people are far wealthier than the poor people in India, and yet they are leaving pan stains on the streets of Wembley. So wealth alone clearly doesn't explain it. Maybe it's education then. Uneducated people don't know any better. That sounds reasonable, right? Watch this.
ये है पढ़ा लिखा का ज्ञान देखो और हम अनपढ़ा का ज्ञान देखो अपनी लाइन में सीधा है देखो अभी फटाका गेट खुला देखो हमला करो बोल दिया ना भाई लोग देखो देखो हमला करो ये पढ़ा लिखा का ज्ञान का है ये देख सब पढ़ा लिखा है ये लोग लेकिन हम ट्रक ड्राइवर सब अच्छा से लाइन पे जा रहे हैं ये लोग सब पढ़ा लिखा है भाई लोग.
The man who society would call uneducated is the one with civic sense. So, we've gone through system, wealth, and education. And every single time, NRIs or educated people within India will break the theory. Which means this isn't about where we live. It's about who we are. And it goes back thousands of years. I want to make an argument that I genuinely think is underexplored. And I can say this out loud because I am an Indian myself. India has the best geography on the planet. And I don't mean that in a poetic way. I mean it in a very literal, biological way. What proof do I have for that? Population. India has always had one of the largest populations on earth, historically and today. From a purely biological standpoint, that makes us the most successful civilization ever. And that success doesn't come from our performance. It comes from the land. The soil is extremely fertile. The rivers are reliable. The monsoon arrives every year without fail. If you miss a harvest, there is another chance right around the corner. The subcontinent does not punish mediocrity. Now think about what that does to a civilization's behavior over thousands of years. If you throw your garbage in an empty plot of land in India, the afternoon sun is so strong that it will nearly disintegrate organic waste on its own. And then the monsoon comes, heavy and relentless, and it washes away everything. A few months later, the plot of land looks fine. There was no catastrophic consequence, no plague, no crisis, no moment where the community had to face extinction. Now compare that to medieval Europe, dense populations, cold climates, no natural mechanism to dispose of waste. One contaminated water source and thousands of people died. In Europe, sanitation was not a civic virtue. It was a survival mechanism. You cleaned up or you died. That pressure got encoded into culture over centuries. India never had that clean or die moment. Chalta hai, adjust kar lenge, jugaad. These didn't come from laziness. They came from a land that didn't punish us for staying ordinary. But now we have a problem. The geography has stopped working. We have moved into concrete cities. The sun cannot reach the garbage dumped in a narrow lane. The monsoon doesn't wash away the waste anymore. It floods it back into your living room because the drains are choked with the plastic the sun cannot burn. The geography no longer has the capacity to forgive us. Our environment changed over the last 100 years, but the software was written over the last 5,000 years. Do you think a Swachh Bharat ad can change that? Look, this argument about geography is not an excuse. Understanding why something happened is not the same thing as saying it's fine. So how do we rewire instincts that took thousands of years to form? Is it even possible without the kind of pressure that Europe had? China throughout its history and even recently has had catastrophic moments that forced the civilization to reset, to be their best. If the only thing that changes civilizational behavior is genuine, unavoidable consequence, then what does that consequence look like for us? Or are we currently living through the beginning of it?